we're going to be working in the grammar and class section in our composition notebook. So turn there now. Let's get our table of contents set up. Pages 1 through 5 in your table are your table of contents for your grammar and craft section. Page 6 is where you write today's learning target. Writers choose the most effective point of view, and today's date is 2/15. Take a moment to get this page set up. Today's learning target is writers choose the most effective point of view for their narrative. Remember that we learned yesterday that as a reader, when we're trying to identify the point of view in a narrative text, we're going to ask ourselves, whose eyes am I seeing the story through? If I'm seeing the story through the eyes of one of the characters, then the story is being told in first person. If instead I'm seeing the story through the eyes of an outside observer, then the story is being told in third person point of view. Today, you're going to take on the role of the writer instead of the reader. Turn to page 6 in your grammar and craft section. Make sure that you leave pages 1 through 5 blank for your table of contents. On page 6, write the date, 2/15, in the top right corner. Then title this page Point of View Flash Draft. Here's your assignment for today. You're going to select one of the images in Schoology. There should be several images below this video. You're going to write a flash draft in either first or third person point of view. And it's your job to decide which is going to be the most effective. Do I want to write from the perspective of one of the characters? Maybe when I look at the image, I decide that I want to write from the perspective of the zebra. Or maybe I want to write from the perspective of one of the men in the safari. Or maybe I want to write from the perspective of the tree. Or do I want to write from the perspective of an outside observer, someone standing outside of this moment observing every detail? If so, then maybe I want to choose third person point of view. So as you decide, I want you to think back on some of the strengths and weaknesses of both first person and third person point of view. Remember, our number one strength for first person is that we get to see the thoughts and feelings and fears of our character. However, we are limited to their eyes. In third person, we get to see all of the scene. Every moment, every detail in that scene. So your job right now is to decide, do I want to write from the perspective of one of the characters? Or do I want to write from the perspective of an outside observer? Someone standing outside of this moment looking in. Once you've decided, you're going to get started writing. And as you write, I want you to think back at some of your narrative tools that you learned in the first unit. So Ms. Hirosh and I are looking for 5 tools being used today in your writing. We're looking for dialogue. We're looking for slowing down time. We are looking for writers to be exploding moments. We want you to describe every single detail. We want to see you using imagery, so describing what the narrator sees or hears or tastes or touches or feels. And then most important, we want to see narrative paragraphing. So let me remind you that when you are writing a narrative, your paragraphs need to be super short. So this is what your flash draft should look like today. Each of your paragraphs maybe should be 2 to 3 sentences. I don't want to see one flash draft in a whole paragraph. One paragraph for your whole flash draft. So, look at those images. Decide which image you want to choose. Decide which point of view is going to be the most effective. And then get started writing. Remember to use your narrative tools. Enjoy!